Alright, hello all. Welcome back to the Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video here. So today we are going to be doing another how hard can the unit hit video. And this time around, continuing on with the manga character batch, we are going to be doing 40th Dragon Ball Anniversary manga, Saiyan Saga Vegeta here. So far I have done Gohan, which was so crazy that he was able to break the integer cap. So that was pretty neat to see. With Frieza, I've done Frieza. I got upwards of 1 billion damage with him. Insane, because, I mean, you gotta think, there are only a certain select few amount of characters that can actually do that. I mean, it's gone up recently, the amount that can, but it's still a slim part of the game that can actually beat those numbers. So I've done those two, both their defense and their attack. So I figured this time around I do want to do Vegeta. I'm not sure if I'll do Goku or Piccolo next. Reminder that I cannot do Buu. He only stacks defense, but he has the AoE, so I can't do him in general. So we're going to see what Vegeta gets up to here. I think he could be very impressive by the end. We're going to have to see, of course. Now, I do actually... You know, I nearly forgot his intro. I don't have that here, do I? So I did actually want to bring this Goku for his SA effect. The ally attack increase, I figured, could be pretty good. So this is an issue with the manga characters, to be sure. Because usually I can have sort of specific sort of team builds where I can get all these domains up and everything, but it has to be a little bit more restrictive when it comes to these manga characters. And the thing is, that 150% attack and defense, I mean, it is pretty important. So I do actually need to make sure to get that real quick. So hold on, let me figure out who to replace Goku with. Because I need, like, Piccolo for getting the Dokkan attacks, right? So we'll be right back. Alright, so we're back here. Now, I doesn't necessarily need to be a Goku ally because of the fact that it just needs to have an ally whose name includes Goku, right? And obviously the tag Gogeta fulfills that. However, you know, I went with Goku originally simply for the SA effect, but, you know, looking at Saiyan Saga World Tournament, there's not one here that really fulfills his intro condition, but also, at least that I can think of, that is also, like, giving support, besides, like, you know, like Yajirobe. But I'm specifically referring to characters that are on the leader skill, because this would be something to try and work with. Off of the leader skill, I don't know about all that. I mean, he's, like, Glorio off lead is perfect, but, you know, other characters, I don't know about all that. Anyway, we're gonna get started here, so let's do this. We'll see. Hopefully I can get him turn 1.
Alright, let's do this.
We got him turn 1, let's go. Alright, so we can immediately see the intro play then. And, you know, I usually don't like to talk during the animations, but when we have a character like this, where the animation isn't voiced, I don't mind talking during it. Because, I mean, that is the big thing. I don't like talking over, like, the voiced sort of animations. Like, obviously I talk during super attack effects and such, so. Okay, so, for Vegeta here, I mean, obviously, as with all these characters, these manga characters, I mean, they need to build up. Now, his is one of the slower ones at 19%. So, I believe this when receiving a super attack, or at least it worked this way for Frieza. So he had the after evading an attack, he gets the 2 supers, right? But, and this is where it gets weird, because he has to dodge every turn to get those 2 supers, right? But I was able to confirm through the defense stacking, you know, actually looking at the proper numbers, that he only gets that, like, 120 whatever percentage he gets the one time. Which I really think is stupid. But I have to imagine. So the buff is permanent, but I think it can only proc once only for Vegeta. is my understanding currently based off how it worked with Frieza. So I could be mistaken about that. I'll know for sure either way whenever I do the defense stat. So I mean, let's just get started here. I mean, he does have decent links here next to the other Vegeta. Okay, so we actually are receiving our super. That's good. So it still procs both the buffs. So we're up to 13 mil already. And with Vegeta, keep in mind, he does not have any SA effect attack, which is why I wanted to bring back the Goku. Okay. See, and I even triple supered here, which is huge. But, you know, it doesn't... I don't know, because it is kind of weird. I haven't done too many characters for, you know... In fact, I don't know if there's been a single character I've done for attack stacking where they don't actually raise their attack on the SA effect.
My name is Glorio, the king of the third demon world sent me.
That is an example of an animation I don't like talking during. Oh, I didn't even pay it. God damn it. I didn't realize Vegeta and Trunks were on that in slot 7. So what I'll do after I finish this initial stacking part then, I'll cut away and then I'll just well, I mean, I suppose I don't. It's not necessarily cutting away, but when I go to cut away, how about let me phrase it that way. When I go to cut away after I'm done with this next turn, what I'll do is I'll just reset, and I'll make sure Vegeta and Trunks are on one rotation and Vegeta's on the other. Because making sure to get their 5% SA effect every turn is going to be very, very important. Now 5%, it's not a lot in and of itself, right? But when they're getting 5% every turn, especially, so not only for the manga characters in general is it important, but especially for a character that has no SA phase attack at all. So, I mean, when we get a 5%, a 10%, a 50% increase in the SA effect phase for attack, now, I suppose I should say, I don't do attack calcs. I know it's a little different because of, like, SA modifiers and such. But at least for, like, defense calcs, right? I mean, when you don't have anything in the phase... So when you add, you know, you get your greatly raised defense in your SA effect, right? I mean, that 50% increase is a true 50% increase if you have nothing in that SA phase already. So their stacks are going to be very, very important to how Vegeta performs later on. I do sincerely believe that. So I don't want to miss out on even 2 turns of stacking, which is essentially what we're missing out on. Because, I mean, they were slot 7, and now I have to rotate them off, right? So we'll see here. We'll get a couple more hits in before he attacks. So this is going to be 7 attacks total he has, I believe. And what are we up to? 18.5. And we were at, what, like 14.3 before? And this is with no Vegeta and Trunks stacks, once again. So I do think his stacks are going to be pretty huge as we continue on. I mean, obviously, I'll have to see. Thankfully, his is a better condition than... Like, obviously for this, Gohan has the most consistent. His phase 2 stacking is very, very high, right? As well as, like, his SA effect, right? I mean, it's pretty consistent. You're at least getting 70% in return anyway, right? Because, I mean, you have the guaranteed one, as well as his normal one he gets for just doing 12 feet. So, I mean, he's pretty consistent. The rest of these, when I have to receive an attack, it's hard, right? So I don't know. I suppose Frieza is dodging, but Piccolo and Vegeta would have to receive. Goku is another one where it's per attack performed, although his is a very slow build-up considering that. So we'll have to see how it all works out later on. I'm very curious to see what he's going to be able to get up to. But with that being said, I am going to cut away. I am going to reset real quick. Not that it really matters for you guys. And make sure to have Vegeta and Trunks on the one rotation and Vegeta on the other one. And we're just going to get stacking here. I don't know. I really hope he's able to hit pretty hard by the end, but not having any SA effect attack, it might be pretty difficult. But I will say, I mean, Frieza got upwards of 1 billion. Gohan broke the attack cap. So, I mean, all of these manga characters have shown, at least I've done so far, to have insane potential. And I think Vegeta will fall right in, but we'll have to see. So, with that being said, I'm going to cut away. I'm going to get the stacking, and we will come back, and we will see just how hard 40th anniversary Dragon Ball manga Vegeta can hit. Alright, so we are back here. I am up to turn 92. So we have gotten a decent bit of stacks up to this point. And we are up to 186 hits received here, right? Because that's just making sure it's the blue symbol that's guard, right? Okay, yeah, because that was what was throwing me off. So, and this is proof of this. So numbers of time guard is activated, it's higher than number of attacks received, because the guard activation part works even with his dodge. That's what threw me off for a moment there. So I suppose that means I've gotten 10 dodges throughout this, which I am curious. I have a decent bit of hidden potential dodge on him. Oh, no, never mind, I do not. I thought I had more than 6. Okay. I mean, yeah, getting 10 dodges with a 6% chance. I'll take it. I mean, obviously we're 92 turns in, but still. So, I mean, he's pretty good up to this point, I do feel. I think this is going to be a pretty crazy one. Now, something to note with Frieza, I had around 130. I think I had roughly like 130, 140 stacks with Gohan. So, while I do have a lot more stacks with Vegeta, 186, his is worth less, right? So Gohan's is 35%, Frieza's is 26%, and Vegeta's is 19%. So not even close to the amount that they stack for, unfortunately, but still, we're gonna have a pretty crazy turn, I do feel. So this will be our baseline turn, right? Let's get this in, and then obviously next turn, as when we'll use all the Gogeta actives and the items and everything, and it's gonna be pretty good. So let's play this out, and he's going to have 2 more build-ups for his guard here, so he'll be at 188 instead. And then we're also gonna get hit a couple times as the turn's ending. So 211 mil, and our attack does not increase at all, because once again he does not have any SA effect. Even if we get the hidden potential, it's just gonna stay 211 mil. And we did, so that's neat. I do suppose though, like when we do the defense stacking, these will actually be pretty important. But at least here, not so much. So I mean, getting him up to 211 mil, and you gotta think. I mean, I suppose we do have one of the AGL sort of Goku, Gogeta, 40% attacks up, right? But we're gonna have another 40% phase 1 attack, as well as both of the Gogeta actives and the items. I mean, he's very easily, at least I think so, gonna be upwards of 1 billion. Yeah, I do think so. I mean, we're starting off with 211 mil here. He should definitely be above it. Now, I will say he's probably going to be a lot closer to Frieza than I would have thought. To be fair, I suppose, I mean, Frieza, Big Bad Bosses, I mean, it's pretty important, right? It gives him a lot of extra damage. So even though, we don't have as much buildup with Frieza, and his are 26% once again. But I mean, Vegeta's 19%, it's only 7% lower, and we have, what, 50 some odd stacks more? So I haven't done the math on that, but surely that outweighs that, doesn't it? I have to imagine it does. So I don't know. I just think we're gonna have a pretty good turn for Vegeta. Now so the Dokkan attack here, we are about to get this with Vegeta. It's not the biggest deal because I mean it's his attack, right? It doesn't increase with more SA effects. So I mean the one attack we get is all we need to see anyway. And we'll just have to look at the attack stat at the bottom. Now I did play this close to the Dokkan attack. Usually I would try to avoid it, but this time around I did try to play it close to the Dokkan attack because I was actually a little concerned about getting everything set up if I didn't, because you gotta think, then I'd have to float off HL Gogeta for another turn and keep STR Piccolo on that rotation, because even in Vegeta and Trunks, you know, they're starting to build up pretty decently high for, you know, what the Dokkan attack, and I don't want to put like Glorio in slot 1, both because of his buff when it's active, as well as also I mean, it's not so safe. He's safe in slot 2, slot 3, but not in slot 1, right? Off the leader's card. So, I mean, yeah, we'll get the Dokkan attack. I usually like to avoid that, but it's not going to be the biggest, like, deal here at all. I wanted to be sure, because, I mean, as you can see, we're going to be doing the big turn at turn 94 here. And, you know, I sort of proved with Gohan that the intro, this intro buff, right? So obviously the 40% one's already gone, but the 150% attack and defense, that does also run out 99 turns from activation. So it'd be turn 101, and I just didn't want to play it too close, right? Okay, so I mean there's a lot of attacks in slot 1 here. I guess it's only 2, because I mean there's another 3 after, but we're not going to get any of that build up, which is unfortunate. But that will matter for the defense one, I suppose, but for the attack one, it's not going to really matter. Okay, well, I mean, let's play this out. Hopefully, I can get good luck with the Lemo here. Let's see. I want all the STR key spheres, please. Literally none at all. That's okay. Yeah, okay. Well, that is what it is there. Okay, what I'm going to have to do then is I'm going to have to play around with the orbs. I usually have to do this. I mean, sometimes I get lucky, but I mean, this is pretty common. Okay, so I'll come back when I have as much orbs as possible, because, I mean, we get 5% per, right? I mean, it's 23 orbs max. This is 10. I mean, this is nowhere near close enough. So, I'm probably going to have to play around with, like, the Gogeta actives and stuff to get it to reset to the right way. We'll see. But we'll be back in just a moment, either way. So I've tried resetting several times here. Thankfully, I was actually able to get quite a few orbs this time. It was not looking so good. I was getting a lot of like 15s, 16s, 14s. Like it was like all in that sort of range. Like it changed like one half of the key sphere field. Right, sometimes it'd leave the tech, sometimes it'd leave the int, and it was a headache. But thankfully, I was actually finally able to get 22 here. I mean, we're only missing 5%. I think every percentage does count when you have a phase with as little percentage in it as the item phase. I mean, this is all we're going to have, plus the World Tournament announcer. So it's unfortunate that we're not getting the full 23. But I couldn't get it all to appear, unfortunately. So 22 is still really good. So let's play this out. We'll see what happens. This is going to be a really, really good turn for him, to say the least. I mean, double Gogeta buff. Now he just has prepared for battle with Gogeta, I guess. It's unfortunate we're leaving a lot of links on the table, but you know, it is what it is. Alright, what do we got here, Vegeta? I'm not going to hit any of the nodes, so it doesn't like amplify it. Or actually, no, I will hit the nodes, because that way it holds for a moment. So let me... That might actually be the best way to go about this. Give me just a moment. Okay, there we go. Okay, so, with Vegeta here, we are up to, what is that? 1,068,393,472. Like, I don't like having it appear with the Dokkan attack like this, but I had to play around this sort of intro. I didn't want it to run out, and I was concerned that it would have if I didn't. So, still, I mean, he broke 1 billion. This is a little less than Frieza. I'm kind of surprised, to be honest. I thought Frieza would end up being one of our lower ones because of his dodge, right? But it does appear, I mean, I suppose, to be fair, Frieza does have the attack, so maybe Vegeta's defense will end up being better overall. I can definitely see that, but, I mean, Frieza does have the greatly raised attack for the turn on his SA effect. I mean, he has the 3 supers, so. Although, did I get the 3, or did I just get 1? I forget. I don't know. Either way. There we go. I mean, we can play out the animation here. We might as well. But, I mean, that shows, because with the Dokkan attack, it doesn't, like, show in the middle of the screen, sort of. But still, 1,068,393, and what was the final number there? I don't know. Still, very, very good from Vegeta here. I'm very curious to see his defense whenever I get around to that sort of next week. So that does make me curious then, because like Piccolo, for example, I mean, he's the lowest stack. Although he'll probably still have more stacks overall than Goku, but at the same time, with Goku, I will be able to run double Vegeta Trunks again, which will be massive. Because, you know, I haven't run it for anyone other than Gohan, because of the fact that no one else is on the, you know, Bond Parent Child Future Saga League. And he's on that plus Battle of Fate, so he'll get the full buff from them. So I'm very curious to do Goku for his attack and defense, but I'll probably do Piccolo next and finish off with Piccolo. Or finish off with Goku, excuse me. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, we could end Vegeta here, and we'll get around to his defense. And we'll see just how tanky he's able to get next time. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Take care.